What is up, YouTube? Man, oh man, it has been a while. It's been a while since I've done a live on YouTube, let alone even just posting. Holy crap. I am excited for this. So, we'll let a few people jump on. One thing that I kind of just wanted to touch base on is the 2025 season. What is up? What am I going to be posting? Am I going to be posting? What videos should I post? Um, and honestly, there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen with the Haxen brand and actually posting review videos again, getting back to my roots and putting in the time and energy um back into really how I started, right? So we'll let a few people jump on, but I'm excited for the 2025. What are things that you guys want to see? What types of videos, what types of comparisons, what types of gear reviews or hunting tech reviews? What type of gear you need on what type of certain hunts, whether it's a western hunt, elk, deer, high country, low country, bear hunting in the spring, or even hunting whitetail out of a tree saddle, um, basically in your backyard. So few different things that I kind of want to cover in 2025 YouTube season. And one other thing that is going to be happening for 2025 is I am going to be jumping on my podcast role with my good buddy Jared Thomas. Mason Malone, I want to see an Idaho elk hunt. Mason, you are not alone, man. I want to see that myself. That I do think I need to create a gear list of what I would do for an Idaho elk hunt. I've done some Idaho hunts. I've done elk hunts. I have never hunted elk actually in Idaho, but I feel like a backcountry what I would bring in my pack, what I would bring in my truck, whatever it might be, is definitely a video that a lot of people, especially now that I live in Tennessee and see and understand the whitetail guys and how they really have no idea of what to expect in the West. Like, I just packed for Arizona, hunted Arizona, and I had everything I needed. I know what I needed. I've done it 100 times. I packed it all, literally packed everything I needed. If I didn't have to bring camera gear, I would have fit it all in just my bow case. But since I had camera crap, I had to get a second check-in bag, and that is really what held my camera. Well, I bought a big $200 to $600 or 600 millimeter lens for Jared, and so that literally, with packaging and bubble wrap and everything, that stayed in my check-in bag. But um, not only are we gonna have those types of videos like Mason is asking for, I am also going to be doing my podcast, Bone Nerds Podcast, with my good buddy Jared Thomas, and we are going to have real freaking people on here. Not, I mean, yeah, we'll have some famous people, whatever you want to call it, but we are going to be having real life people in real life situations that are straight killers consistently, that nobody knows about. No one's heard of them, and that's what we want to share. We want to share people that are real and get down and dirty and freaking just break into their brain and share their knowledge that otherwise other people probably wouldn't even hear anyway. So let's see. People need and want that video. You are correct, Mason. Totally agree. Coming from experience, first trip was wild. Ah, Mason, what was your first trip? Was it the Colorado hunt? I can't I feel like it might have been that. I don't know. I could be wrong. Um, I want to hear what your first trip was. And I mean, stuff like this for our podcast is exactly what we want to cover. Mason, like literally having a conversation, you, me, and Jared jump on a podcast and tell us your experience. First time you packed for a backcountry elk hunt, deer hunt, whatever it is, and then how you failed, what you learned, and what you did the second time. And then for us to bring our knowledge into saying, "Hey, dude, there's no reason why you needed to bring X, Y, and Z. Oh, you forgot this? Yeah, you definitely need that, right?" Colorado elk, not the time we met. Oh, did learn a lot. So, guys, the way Mason and I met was uh, I was hunting Colorado. Mason was hunting Colorado. OTC archery elk. Um, it's too bad that we're not able to get those tags anymore from now on. But I I was heading to a unit and I got into Colorado a little early. I was coming from a New Mexico elk hunt that I was filming, and I was driving up to Colorado. Got to Colorado, but I wasn't going to make it to my unit until later, like in middle of the night. So I stopped at a unit to um, just hike a freaking hill and just see if I could find an elk. I hiked up this mountain. I just went straight up into the clouds. You couldn't see anything at all. It's raining. Fog is so freaking thick. Finally get up to where I kind of wanted to see. Couldn't glass anything and just said, screw this. I'm gonna hike back down to the truck and drive to the destination. So get back to my truck, start driving down, and I pass this truck and we just started talking, and it was actually Mason. And I think it was great conversation. We just talked about filming hunts, talked about hunting where each of us are from, and um, being able to keep in touch. What we're gonna do, what we're gonna see, um, or we were gonna share whatever we saw or what we're experiencing during that week that we were out in Colorado. So we texted back and forth, and I mean, he had a great hunt, and I think they did some big death hikes, if I remember right. And we had a great hunt. We shot one the following day. Um, there's a whole story behind that as well. That was, I mean, freaking epic. First hour into the hunt, we shot a bull, and then for the next 7 days of that hunt, we literally did not see any other bulls at all. We didn't have any other opportunities. We were in the right country. We were on fresh sign. It was just one of those hunts. It was freaking tough. So that is that. Another. I mean, just kind of relapsing into kind of what the reason for this episode is talking about what I'm going to be doing in 2025 as far as content goes. I do need to find a shop close to me to where I like they're willing to let me come in and film and do bow comparisons, do bow breakdowns, do bow builds, whatever it might be. Um, I worked with a few shops in Utah. They benefited quite a bit. I mean, I when I'm posting regularly, a lot of people. I mean, I'll get a few 100,000 views in a month, and that's a lot of traffic seen on these bow shops. And so that being said, if you are somewhere, I'm in Middle Tennessee. If you are anywhere in the surrounding areas, I mean, I'm willing to drive 3 hours if I have to, uh, because in all reality, I can film 10 videos in a day and be set for the next few weeks. And so, um, if you know of a shop that would be willing to have me be able to go in, film, put bows together, whatever it might be, I try to build my trust with shops and whatnot, but I think I think it could definitely benefit some exposure for these shops. So again, if you know of any shops 3 hours from Middle Tennessee, whatever it might be, like please reach out. DM me on Instagram at Haxenhunt. Shoot me an email, haxenhunt@gmail.com. Um, because I need to find a shop so I can get some content out to you guys. I want to do more bow comparisons. I want to do more bow breakdowns. I want to do just the simple videos that I started with, right? So anyway, a couple hunts that I have planned for the 2025 season. Well, I just got back from Arizona, did that. There's 3, well, technically 4 of us with tags. We filled 1 tag on a killer coos, so video of that will be dropping in the near future. Um, I went down to Arizona with the purpose of shooting a big muley buck, and we spent some time getting into the coos, and oh my gosh, those coos deer are a freaking blast. They are tough critters to hunt. They are tiny, tiny animals, and it's just now I see the bug that you get bit, but for the coos, like it, people get the coos bug. I did not understand it until after this hunt. I really wish I was able to connect on a coos or any deer. Unfortunately, I did not tag out, but the hunt is still good for like August and December for this year. So I should hopefully be able to make it out at least one more time. Um, I passed a few deer that I probably shouldn't have. There was one coos that come to mind that he was a great buck. I mean, a solid. He was technically a 2 point with eye guards, 2x2 with eye guards, and he was in a perfect killable spot. He had great mass. He was probably a 4-year-old buck, and it. We had just gotten a new spot, and it was like we still had 4.5 days left. He was right on the edge, like, "Do I want something bigger or should I go for it?" Not necessarily bigger, but, like, I just wanted to verify that this was the buck that I wanted to shoot. And so we went looking up in this big basin, looking for more opportunities on different deer. We glassed a crap ton of deer. Literally middle of the day, these bucks are rutting their guts out. There's like 3 other deer. I mean, they were way the freak up there though. Like this was in a spot where if it wasn't 120-inch coos, I was not going after it. And there's probably a solid 100-inch coos in there. And I don't know. I was not gonna work that hard for a coos deer at that moment in time. I hadn't been bitten by the bug yet. And so then I actually ended up calling my wife and got the answer of, "You've already killed a bunch of muleys." I killed, let's see, this camera's backwards, but I killed this muley right here, in Arizona last year, and she's like, "Go for a coos." And so I was like, "All right, guys, let's go shoot that buck that I just passed." Well, we searched for him and couldn't find him. So, moral of the story: don't always pass the ones that you know that you're gonna kill later. So, um, it was, I mean, gosh, such a fun hunt. We saw so many deer, had some super close opportunities on a few giant muleys as well. I got within 60, 70 yards of a 180-inch muley, which I'm not done with business with him yet. I'm definitely going to go back and I'm going to find him and shoot him. What was cool is he literally was identical to this buck, just a lot bigger. I mean, his freaking front forks were gigantic, and so we definitely need to make something happen on him. Let's see what comments we got. Another one from Mason. I think we need to get you on a Wisconsin whitetail hunt in 2025. I 100% agree. I think that would be a great idea. Definitely need to come up to Wisconsin, do a whitetail hunt. You tell me when and where and what I need to do. I'll make it happen, man. And then what else do I have? If I'll probably still shoot some deer here in Tennessee. One thing that I really liked about hunting here is where I'm at. That's 3 does a day, and then $2 a season. Plus, you get a few bonus bucks depending on the units. I how many does? I don't know. I shot like 8 or 10 does, something like that. One with a rifle. Actually, I don't think I have it in here in this room. I've got an old Remington 7mm that my dad gave me. I think his dad gave it to him, and it's always been kind of a curse that I've had. I have not been successful with it, and so I like always take it on hunts, knowing like I've got to break the curse. I've got to freaking kill something with this thing, and I finally killed. I was on a farm and smoked a doe at like 30 yards with a 7mm. It was great. Mason, what the heck do you do? It's 10 deer worth of meat. Surprisingly, it goes pretty quick. I do share a bunch of the deer meat. I've made a crap ton of jerky and gave it away to a bunch of friends and family and stuff. And so I probably I don't think I had to freeze any of that meat, to be honest. I will say I do I do technically still have one that I haven't cut up. Um, it is sitting in my fridge, so to say, dry aging. Like, I just have the quarters in the fridge. I just opened it the other day. Everything looked good. I do need to pull the cape out of the fridge because the cape is in there, and that was a bad idea. That stinks. It was a doe and estrus, so definitely freaking stinks. And then the last doe, the one that I shot with a rifle, I gave that to little Mexican family that one of my buddies works with. And yeah, we actually gave them two deer that day, and they were freaking stoked. We eat 4 deer a year, and we don't eat any beef. 10 is wild. So, I mean, Mason, same. I don't buy any beef. Very, very, very rarely. Like, I think my wife bought beef for the first time in, like, probably a couple years, actually, just the other day. She wanted me to do a roast of a tri-tip. So I made a tri-tip roast, and that was super good. Um, this right here, the buffalo behind me, this is mainly what we've eaten over the last couple years. Unfortunately, that meat is almost gone, and so that is going to be a sad day when it is gone. I do have quite a bit of burger, and I do have a bunch of breakfast sausage from the buffalo. I might have a couple steaks left or something, but the burger is to die for from wild bison. Um, Steaks is the only thing I'll buy. Yeah, 100%. Beef burger, you buy that's just disgusting from the store. And then if you wanna buy the full organic, healthy, grass-fed, grass-finished beef burger, there's I mean, you're paying freaking $50 a pound, which I think is absolutely ridiculous when you can go shoot a deer off my back porch in a matter of 20 seconds with a bow. Nobody knows. You gotta drag it into the yard, you gotta throw it in the kitchen, you cut it up, and you throw it in the grinder, and now you got 80 pounds of burger ready at your disposal. So, yeah, that's definitely, the way to do it. If you don't provide your own meat, you've gotta try it. I'm sure everybody on here that follows me, I'm sure everybody provides their own meat for the most part and ends up bow hunting, or rifle hunting, like killing your own animals. Um, it's just it's a satisfying thing. Uh, my daughter, I've got a 2-year-old daughter that she won't eat meat unless I tell her it's dad's deer. I kid you not. We'll go to somebody's house and it'll be beef or something. I'm like, "You want some steak? Or you want some beef? You want some roast beef?" Like, literally, if she hears the word beef, she's like, "No." So then I'll give her the same meat, like, "You want dad's deer?" "Yeah." And she'll eat it. She will straight up down it. But legit deer, like, that is by far her favorite meat. And again, white-tailed deer is a lot different than muleys. So if you haven't had the both, if you haven't tried both, whitetail is definitely a million times better than muleys, which, I mean, the whitetail I've killed are eating corn and beans in the fields next door. So that probably plays a big part in it. So I do need to do better about filming those hunts. This last year, I did struggle a little bit with carrying the camera around. I mainly just focused on having fun and trying to enjoy without any pressure of a camera. I was just trying to hunt and have a good time, and went out with a few new buddies. It was a good time, but just getting back from Arizona, I realized uh, I love carrying the camera around and just capturing the moments during the hunt. So that is something I'm going to be definitely doing better at. Another kind of big announcement that uh, no one has even heard yet until, well, I guess now. My buddy Jared Thomas, he is actually going to be joining the Haxen crew, so to say. So I know some people think my name is Haxen. That's not. My name is Braxton, but the brand right here on the flag, Haxen, is kind of what I've done for my hunting stuff. And it's we're constantly doing the same thing, but separately. Like we're trying to grow our own things separately by doing the same hunt, right? And so it just makes no sense to be doing double work and trying to grow two separate things when we could literally just merge because we're always together. We do all these hunts together. We're best friends. Like it just makes sense. And so we are in a slight transition of how that's going to work out because we've got our own discount codes. We've got our own ways to make a little bit of cash, and kickbacks and stuff with commissions. So we work with companies. Um, but I feel like for content purposes, we're going to make it so much easier and better on ourselves to create more content for you guys on, especially this platform on YouTube. Um, so that's kind of the main focus. As of right now. We'll slowly merge Instagram and stuff. I mean, that's in the future. So be on the lookout for that. I didn't think I was going to share that info yet, but I'm I'm pretty stoked about it. It's gonna be a lot of fun with Jared, and yeah. So again, what what content do you guys want to see? We've covered doing some hunts, doing some prepping for hunts, boat comparisons. I used to do a bunch of speed tests, like specific, like down to, a 25-inch draw length at 70 pounds, 25 and a half inches at 70 pounds, 26. I literally went through all the draw lengths and shot and did a speed test. And then, like on Hoyts, I would do number 2 cam at 29 versus number 3 cam at 29, and how the speed difference with that, that would be. So anyway, I've got a lot of ideas and aspirations, and it's going to be the 2025 year is the year that kind of when I say I'm going to do something, or I say we with, as in Jared and I, now that we're kind of partnering on this endeavor. When we say we're going to do something, we're going to do it. So actually today we are recording a podcast for Bone Nerds podcast, and there's been a lot of stuff happening today, and we said we were going to record it. Well, right now, I don't know, it's 10:46, and I did get off the phone with Jared before I got on here and did this live, and we decided, yes, we are still going to do it because we said we're going to do it. We might not be in the mood due to some unfortunate things and news that we've gotten about other things that can't say, but we're still gonna pump it out. We're still gonna get an episode. So that's gonna be the theme of this year, is still get it done. So anyway, I better wrap up this live really quick. I've got a couple things I've got to answer here on my phone, and then prep for a podcast to kind of kick off 2025 year podcast season for the Bow Nerds podcast. And again, let me say that: Bow Nerds. That is how it is pronounced. But if you say it real quick, the Bow Nerds podcast. That's the point. We got to make sure that makes you question what you heard. Mason podcast going to be live and what platforms? A live podcast would be pretty freaking rad. I think we should do that. I don't think we're going to do that on this exact episode because we got a lot of kinks and stuff to figure out as far as equipment goes. That's kind of why I'm doing this, to figure out this mic setup and headphones and everything. We will have it posted for sure on Spotify. If you go to Spotify and go to Bow Nerds, one word, Bow Nerds podcast, I think I have like 13 or 15 episodes, something like that, on there with some actual really, really dope guests. We've had Bert Soren, we've had Josh Smith, a couple other well-known names. that we had some great conversations with. So, yeah, go ahead and check that out. And I'm gonna prep for this next one. That's just gonna be Jared and I. And we're just basically introducing ourselves, introducing what we're gonna be about this year. And I'm freaking pumped. So platforms we're gonna try to get on Apple. Apple's kind of tough. Get on Apple Podcast. But there's like 5 other things that I don't know. I use Riverside.fm Studio for recording, and it does that all for me. The one that I do know is it's on Spotify. So, Mason, you'll be waiting for the podcast. I appreciate your literal continued friendship and support, man. Honestly, one of the best dudes out there. Um, and we will have you on as a guest. I can assure you that. So, you will be hearing from us. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will catch you guys next time.